Alright, so here we go. Final game of week. Technically this game could have been finished already though. But hold up. Oh, this got juke 'em. Let me go check if people can hear me. Hello, can anybody hear me? Okay, guess not. Dang it!
Hey everybody, it's the coach.
Dang it! Well, it did not work. I tried game chat. It did not work. Looks like I gotta mute my mic.
It's Monday Night Football. And to call the action.
Alright. Diamond, Diamond, Ethan, if it's okay if I can mute y'all for this game, or is that good? Diamond, if it's okay if I can mute you and Ethan just for this game. Okay. Okay, so here's the playoff
Charles
bracket.
Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Orlando team as they enter play. They come in off another victory a
Holy
weekend
crap,
ago.
how are you
That
supposed to
ran
do
their
this? And I'm supposed to be undo this with my mic or something? Okay, I do not know how to
Columbus
I don't
Club.
even know how to do this crap. The EA commentators. Just be quiet or something? Might need to be quiet or something.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out comes this
Guys,
offense
I
to
think I
take
might need
over
to
for the first
leave the party.
time.
I'll rejoin after the game. Is that okay? Okay.
Whether he throws
I'm
7
gonna
interceptions
I'm gonna
or 7 touchdown
unplug my mic
passes,
and plug it back
he's
in,
the
okay?
same
Guys,
assertive
see y'all
leader
after
in
the
the
game.
huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Let's go! 190!
Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. A big play there on the first play of the game. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Let's go!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. A pretty decent gain on the tough run before he's brought down at the 25. The numbers for him from a week ago: 13 carries, 67 yards.
And they've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help, because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Let's go!
Back to throw here. And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. Just a 4-play drive that time. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. I thought the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Green able to dance free. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Right back to him on first down. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On 2nd down now, Green. Room to run inside the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
All right, here we go.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
So we've played one quarter here on a Monday night. It's a close game here early on. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Orlando in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Second effort there. He was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Kai Forbath on for the extra point. Forbath, the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Come on, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Come on, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Go, 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 run it.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That good for 19 and a first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's got this down to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go!
He'll drop to throw. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to the booth right after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go! Man 38!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And, Charles, this infraction's going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
Had some momentum going, driving down the field. That'll set him back 1st and 15.
I mean, that type of play, when you've got to go in your direction.
What the fuck?
My man, old Mo's arching an eyebrow at him right now. You've got me going. Keep me going.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal.
Let's go! Man 38! Man 38!
Back to throw again. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Back to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Well, that was excellent coverage right there, and he definitely did the right thing, showing that discretion is definitely the better part of valor. Threw it away, preserved the opportunity to kick for a field goal.
And excellent coverage. And right now the human is controlling the defense, so good job, human. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for the touchdown. In for the score. And his guys are able to strike for 6. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just... And the lead is now 14-10. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go! White, 90!
Looking to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go!
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call. That'll make it 1st and 15. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Reynolds. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Here we go. What?
Now back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Sanders on for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 17-14. 5 plays there on that drive. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Green able to dance free, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Forbath will put this one through, and that will knot things up here late in the first half. So they boot it through, and now we're all square after 2 quarters of play.
And what's that great term you taught me? They're level, right? They got back to level. Now they get to go back in the locker room, regroup, and start over in the second half.
And that one will go down in the books as just a 1-play drive and then 3 points tacked on to the end of it. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go.
And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll send you across town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston, where you see the final score there. Leonard Fournette leading the charge on the ground. From there, we head up to the Pacific Northwest. Check on the Seahawks at home in Seattle. And they were winners in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. 28-0 the final. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And it was the visiting San Francisco 49ers that come in and get the victory. Dalvin Cook, a touchdown run in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And here now the offense heading back out there. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he fires one incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. His throw incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And that last penalty makes this 3rd down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. On play action, they'll throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Oh, and now he bowls him over. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run.
Here we go.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Throwing the out route and complete. It's Curtis. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5.
Here we go. Red 38.
Again, he'll drop to throw. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
When you run drag routes.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. This will be caught at about the 6. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5. Welcome back live to Orlando. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. The kick by Sanders is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
Well, that was an interesting little chess match there because the offense went empty set. No running backs in the backfield, so they're trying to get people out into a route pretty quickly. But guess what? The defense sees that. They go ahead and move themselves into a blitzing situation and come right after the quarterback. They had more guys there than they could block.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
Let's go!
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Let's go! Grand 38!
Now they try the right side here. And some space here. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. And they'll run it here. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal.
Here we go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Here we go.
They get it to him running left. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Here we go. Grand 38.
And they'll go on the ground. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Sanders' kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's ball. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. He's back to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
He's going to let it fly. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on and it's 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
Back to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So
Here we go.
defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Throw left side complete. That's done. A big gain of 39 on third.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. The 20. 10. And he will have a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
So the false start will back them up 5. So that'll bump it back to a 1st and 15. The false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So the defense flinches, contact made, and the 5-yard penalty ensues. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
Here we go now.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one.
Let's go.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Columbus, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Alright, I'm back now. So now we are officially done with week number, I want to say with week. So we are done. The Aviators game was a big blowout, 729 to 17. So yeah, so now let's head to week 13. Week 13 of the season, and let's go check out the weeks we'll be playing tomorrow. Alright, so the first game we got is tomorrow. At 1 o'clock, it will be the Thunderbirds at the Aviators at 1 o'clock tomorrow. At 4:25, we will have the Pioneers at the Desperados. And the last game of Week 13 on a Sunday night game at 6 o'clock will be the Dublin Shamrocks versus San Diego Aftershocks. We are actually 5 weeks away from the playoffs beginning. So I hope you enjoyed it now. Now let me go check out. Sorry, I'm checking the playoffs really early. Let's go check it out. Let's see. One, two, three, four, five, six. AFC is filled. The NFC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the Voyagers. Hold on, let me go check the Giants. So I will end the live stream and I'll see you all tomorrow for the first game. So